You're muted, Ant.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey, everybody. My name is Anthony Moreland, and we do this call every Wednesday. And we have a great special guest, me and my good friend Michelle, though. We do this every Wednesday, you guys, just to grab tips to help you grow your business. Also, we talk to ourselves, too, in the process. But every other Wednesday, we love to have a special guest. And today, we have the honor of having one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, good friend, a mentor, like a brother to me. It seems like I've been knowing him a very, very long time, but it's only been a short time. But we have Aaron Decker tonight. But like always, I love to let the women start off first. So I'm gonna let Michelle kick it off, my partner in crime here, and she's gonna, start it off and ask Aaron some questions. So we want you to be able to grab some notes. So if you haven't gotten any paper or pen, go grab it real quick because he's gonna drop nuggets tonight to help you grow your business and be disruptive.
Awesome. Thank you, Anthony. Aaron, thank you so much for being with us tonight. So can I get a little show of hands to find out if you guys have ever invited somebody to come to a Zoom, to a launch party, to join a three-way call with you, and they said they would, and then they didn't show up? Looks like every single hand, I'm up, like every single hand on that screen is up. Awesome. So what we want to talk about tonight are some things that we all can do to help increase our results in properly preparing people for Zooms, for launch parties, for three-way calls, to take a look at the business side of things, at product, because there's so much that we can do in the preparation steps that can set us up either for success or failure. And so I want to talk about those things to give us all some things that we can have in the back of our mind as we begin to reach out to people and start to set up these appointments so that we can all have better success. So the first thing that I want to talk about is getting people properly prepared, like in the right mindset for viewing a video. Okay, so with the video, you want to find out when will they have time to watch it. So you don't want to just like drop a video to somebody that they have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what is this? Why are you sending me this? You don't ever want to just send somebody something without any kind of an introduction. You want to ask them, if I sent you a video that's about, and you want to build a conversation so that they have some context for it. If I sent a video to you, would you watch it? They say yes. Awesome. When would you have, and whatever video you're using, kind of know the amount of time that particular video is. If it's 8 minutes, if it's 14 minutes, whatever that is, say, awesome. When would you have 8 minutes to watch that video? They tell you, fantastic, I'll send it to you then, and then I'll follow up with you. So you kind of have that expectation set that they know, oh, they're actually expecting me to watch this, and like they've given me a follow-up time, and so I know that I need to actually follow through and do that, right? Instead of just like dropping a link to a video in a chat or something like that. The next thing that I want to talk about is once somebody has watched that video and you're inviting them to come, and really these principles are going to apply regardless of the context that they're coming to. So whether they're coming to a Zoom, a three-way, or a launch party like in person, what you're going to want to do is build up the credibility of the person who's coming to do that for you. So even if it's just, if it's your direct sponsor, if it's a team thing that you guys are doing and you have, another team member who's doing it with you, you want to build that person up in the mind of your prospect, of your guest, so that they see the value in attending. Because if you just reach out to somebody and say, hey, I'm I'm doing this little get together at my house. It's something I'd really like to share with you and I'm excited about it. Would you come? They're going to say, oh yeah, sure. No problem. When is it? They'll commit, whatever. But then life happens. They change their mind. Something comes up and they back out. Well, you've put a lot of work into putting the event together, regardless of whether it's digital or in person. You're putting effort into that. You're coordinating with different people. And so, in order to strengthen their commitment, as well as increase in their mind the value of what they're coming and showing up for, if you can talk up the person who is coming to do that party or your special guest so that they can see. So like we'll take Erin for instance. If Erin was going to come to my launch party at my home, I'm I'm not going to say to my friends, my guests who are coming, hey, I've got this good friend of mine who's coming and he's going to share some of his story. He's a really good dude. He's funny, he's witty. I think you'll like him. He is all of those things. And we appreciate Erin, but I'm not going to achieve the same result as if I say to them, I am so excited for this event because one of my business partners, one of the professionals in my industry who I respect the most because of his success, because of his love for people, because of his competency and just his ability to connect with people and to build a multi-million-dollar business, he is coming and he is taking time out of his schedule to speak with us, to share his heart and to provide value to you. So when you do that, it creates a completely different feel for that person that you're inviting. All of a sudden they're going, oh, like this is a big deal. Like this is not just her buddy who's coming in to share something. This person has some clout. This person has some expertise who I need to learn from. And if you can connect them with a piece of information about your speaker that's going to be relevant to them, what you want to do is to build that person's credibility so that your guest recognizes this person is offering value and they're taking time out of their schedule and that time has value to me. So once you've done that and you get a commitment from that person, you want to say to them something along the lines of, I'm so glad that you're able to come on Saturday night at 5 o'clock. And I have told Erin that you're coming and he is really looking forward to meeting you. Now they're on the hook because now Erin knows that they're coming and Erin is looking forward to meeting them. And so not only have they just said yes to you as their friend, like we love our friends, but it's like easier to let our friends down and say, I'm sorry, something came up, I'm not coming. But when you know that this person of clout, this person who your friend respects, it now knows that they're coming and is looking forward to meeting them, it like ups the ante for them and they're going to be a whole lot less likely to back out. So you're going to increase your chances of getting people to show up. And that's going to be whether it's your Zoom, whether it's your launch party in person. They have more on the line when you do it that way. Does that make sense? Lots of head nods, thumbs up. Yep, awesome. Okay. All right. So the next thing that I want to talk about is once you have them there, and once you are on the phone with, your three-way support person, whether that's crossline, upline, regardless of who it is, you're going to want to do the same kind of a thing, but you don't want to just be like, hey, Mac, so thanks for coming. And Erin's here with us. And so Erin, why don't you kind of tell Mac, what's going on and what we've got? Like, that's sort of awkward for everybody where you're all kind of going, okay, so what do we got going on here? Instead, you want to prepare your three-way support person in advance to know a little bit about your guest. so that they're not like starting from scratch and kind of trying to figure out who this person is. And you want to give them just a short synopsis. You don't have to give them this person's whole life story, right? They don't have time for that. But you want to at least preface it a little bit in advance to give them some info so that they have a foundation where to start. And you want to make sure that that guest, if you're bringing them on a three-way, has had an opportunity to view one of the tools and has some sort of context as to why we're doing this three-way call. Because if they haven't viewed a video already, if they haven't already experienced some sort of information about the company, and you're bringing them on with your three-way support person, then that person has to start from scratch. Like they have to share the whole thing. And that's not a good use of anybody's time. So make sure that you're properly preparing the person by giving them the tool first. And then you want to do a quality introduction of the person that's going to highlight their skills, their background, and why you want your friend, your contact, your prospect to talk with this person so that they understand the value in it. So doing all of those things all together and sort of making sure that we are getting good commitments, that we are explaining the value in our event, proper introductions of the person, the speaker, the three-way support person. Those are all going to be things that are going to increase our success as we're bringing people on to take a look. And they're going to be more keyed in and they're going to be paying more attention, because when they have a perception of your support person, your guest speaker, as a person who has quality information of value to them, they're going to be more likely to pay attention and to listen earnestly to this person. So that was kind of what I wanted to share tonight about prepping your people. And this is a good thing to do. Like if you're planning a big event and you're wanting to do a launch party, talk up the people who are coming to support you and make sure that the people who commit to come, that they know that this isn't just you doing a little house party, so that they're less likely to stand you up. I went with Dave Vance up north, and one of my team, she had like 14 people who had agreed to come, and not one person showed up. Not one person. We drove 2 hours one direction, and not a single person showed up. And so, it happens to all of us. Like we turned it into a training session, and it was great. But anytime we can properly, do the proper steps to make sure that people understand what they're coming to, why they're coming to it, and what's in it for them, then there's going to be a higher likelihood that they're going to pay attention. So Erin, once we get to that point where we have that person there, you're on a three-way. I kind of texted you earlier and said, would you talk to us about how you like to run three-way calls? How do you work them so that they are successful? And what are, kind of how do you direct that conversation with that person, assuming that they've been properly prepared, they've watched the tool, they kind of know what we're about and what's going on? How do you then approach that three-way as the support person coming in for that call?
Really quick before I get to that, first of all, Anthony, brother, you are amazing. I know people thank you a lot, but I want to thank you again for just everything that you do for all of us. And Michelle, I wanted to say, what an incredible, honestly, I had more feedback from your testimony the other night, Monday night. It was unbelievable. I've got people that want me to cut just that part out so they can use that as a tool. And then the other thing, and then I'll get to answer your question, is I think it was it Randy that was talking about the ladder? I don't know if some of you got it late. I got it all figured out, Anthony. We just got to get everybody going to get their 4, and then they got to get their 4 more faster. Otherwise, they got to do it again and do it again until they get it right, right? Then we're done. There you go. All right. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. I had to, my brain is fried. My voice is gone. I've been on Zooms literally nonstop for the last 11 hours. So super excited to be here. So Michelle, really quick, tee that up one more time. I think you said once somebody's on the call, and I apologize, but I just needed to get that stuff out there.
That's okay, not a problem. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So once you have this person on the call, we're assuming that they've been properly prepared, that they've seen a tool. You are the person who's coming in to do the three-way.
Okay.
To help somebody else. So how do you like to run those calls, and what is the flow that you find to be the most effective?
Yeah. So if I'm doing a call, let's say Anthony put me on the phone with Michelle, right? And so Anthony got Michelle she watched a video or saw a Zoom. And so I'm doing that third party call. Now, if Anthony's done his job right, he's given me some background, right? He's at least identified a few things. Now, if him and I didn't have time to do that before, he can then do that in the in the introduction, right? So Anthony's going to say something like, "Hey, this is Michelle. Her husband's a police officer." And I mean, he's going to go through, and he's going to say she really liked what the MOA that she saw. Like, he's going to give me as much little tidbits in there because that's going to help me direct. But here's what I'm also going to do. I'm going to listen to what he says, but I'll end up asking, and she's going to repeat that again. Okay. I'll say that again. I don't care if he tells me, if I know everything about her, or if he tells me a few things, it doesn't matter. I'm taking in that information. I'm kind of sticking it in my memory back. But how I'm always going to start is I'm going to say, "So Michelle, how do you and Anthony know each other?" Right? Like, this is just what I do, you guys. And listen, everybody's different, but I'm gonna connect, right? I need to connect with that person. He might have done a really good edification, but don't ever overdo it, right? You gotta, in my opinion, you gotta get just to that point without going crazy, right? Like, I am not the intergalactical world leader. Okay, forget that part, right? Like just go up to that point, but be real, authentic, and transparent when you do it, because people will pick up an inauthenticity, okay? But then I'm going to say, "So how do you know Anthony? So where do you live?" I'm going to go through a series of those questions every single time because I want to find out more. I'm not just going to jump right in. I need to build that relationship and gain her respect a little bit by connecting. Does that make sense? So many times people jump on a third party call and, Anthony says, "Hey, this is Michelle." I'm like, "Hey, Michelle, how you doing? So what'd you like most about the video?" Okay, in my opinion, now maybe that works for some people. For me, I need to connect. If I've only got 5 minutes on the phone, I'll connect with her 4, and then I'll do my what I need to do in a minute, right? Like I need that interaction. But what I'll get to is this. So where do you live? How do you know Anthony? Really? So what does your husband do? Like, I'll go as long as they want to go within reason, until I've gained enough information and we've got a relationship. I'm looking for common ground where I can be relatable in some way, shape, or form. And again, real, authentic, and transparent. People don't want fake people. They want real, okay? And then I'll always say, "So what do you do?" Right? So what do you do? And then I'll go to, "So, what stuck out most? What'd you like most?" And you can say it however you would talk. Now, Anthony might have already said she liked MOA. It doesn't matter. I'm going to ask her again. Because what it does is it reaffirms what she liked a second time. Right. And I like that. I might even go, "Really? So what'd you like most about that?" "Oh, really? MOA, yeah." And I might even go down that a little bit. And then find out, "Well, is there anything else that you liked? Do you see any way that this might benefit?" You said your husband's a police officer. He might have been a firefighter. He might have been a rock climber, whatever it is, right? Like, do you see any benefits for anybody else in your family? Okay, what am I doing now? I'm getting them already to build their list. I'm getting them to think about other products that can be used. Guys, that can be used later when you go and you say, "So, hey, let's get you started. I mean, these products are amazing. They're 100% money back guarantee. Here's the fun thing. You've got 0 to lose. You just got 2 choices. Like, you can set up a wholesale account. Hey, it's a one-time lifetime $25, or you can just buy retail and test the products out. Because again, I want you to experience them, but you can just choose. Do you want to experience them a little less money, or, for retail, which is okay. Either way is okay. But the best thing for you, Michelle, is you've got nothing to lose. Get the products, use them for 30 days, stick them in your body, no questions asked, money back guarantee. Now, here's the interesting thing, Michelle, I've never had anybody return them except for those that never took it out of the box of the bottle. And I can promise you it doesn't work there, right? Like that's a guarantee. But Michelle, if you'll take it out and you give your husband a pouch of Moa and 4 Rejuvenex before he goes to work, man, he is going to have the best day and he's going to come home so happy and asking you, how can I get more of that stuff? Is that kind of the answer that you're looking for? Because that's what I would do.
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you take, so that's an awesome way to lead into that decision. Do you ask them right there on that call, are you ready to do this? Do you want to do this? Or do you leave that to the person who's invited them to the call?
So most of the time, I like to do that, right? Like if I'm on the call, I'm working for you guys. If I'm doing the third party, I'm working for you. And remind me to give you a little hint how to get really good at this in a minute if I forget. But so I'm going to say, so Michelle, listen, it sounds like you could use several of the products. What do you think is going to be better? Do you want to set up a wholesale account or just want to try the products retail? Michelle?
Great.
Michelle?
Well, who wants to spend more when you can spend less?
You know what? And that's what most people say. But you know what? Hey, some people like to pay full price. I don't. I mean, you and I are a lot alike. So why don't we do this? Anthony, do you happen to have that form? Why don't we just go ahead and get Michelle's, information? It's really quick, Michelle. What I love is you're going to have your products typically in 3 to 5 days. I promise you guys that's coming in typically 3 to 5 days. What we're excited about, Michelle, is I want you to stay connected to Anthony, and I hope he gets back with me, in about a week or so, because I know that anybody that sticks those products in their body, typically in 2 to 4 days, they feel a significant result. And I'm so excited, not just for you, but for your husband. And then you mentioned, one of your kids really would, like to try some of our products too. It's going to be so much fun for you and your family to start to experience, feel better, sleep better, whatever. I'm going back to what I learned about her. You've been telling me that, her husband's eating way too many donuts and drinking too much coffee. Man, this is going to help him a lot, right? Like, you guys, and here's the thing. I'll say something wacky like that. Why? Because listen, guys, be yourself. If there's nothing else I say that makes any sense tonight, the one thing that you'll never go wrong on is be real, transparent, and authentic. If you're on the phone and I'm not going to use Anthony, let's use Sally. Sally's going to introduce me to Michelle, and they're best friends, right? And she gets on the phone and she's like, yeah, so Michelle, this is Aaron, and he's like really, really high up in our company. And yeah, he's got this beautiful wife that and she's Dr. Ginger, and she's been on, and all of a sudden Sally just doesn't know what else to say. Here's what Sally needs to do. You know what, Michelle? I'm so excited. I just don't want to screw up the opportunity for you to listen to the information for what it is. And I just gotta tell you, I'm trying too hard. Michelle, would you just listen to this guy? Like seriously, that's your guys. You know what Michelle's going to do? Michelle's going to start to feel sorry. She's like, well, of course I will. Sally, why are you so worried about it? I told you that I'd listen, right? But here's the thing. She's going to be more apt to actually be open to listen than if Sally was trying to do the perfect pitch and sound like somebody else, sound like an expert like Brett Palmer, sound like an unbelievable, Coach Todd Rowland, like sound like somebody like a Tammy Maltby that's so polished, like you and I'm not that polished, right? I never will be. But what I strive to be is the best version of me, right? And do what I can to get them to actually hear the information. So everything that Michelle started off with tonight was spot on. I was thinking, why am I even on here? Right? Like, it's spot on. The only thing that I can add is add you to the equation in the best version of you, real, authentic, and transparent.
Yes, 100%. And when you do that, and it's probably even good sometimes if you have those moments where you're tripping over yourself and you're like, my brain just left my body and I have Like I totally forgot what I was going to say. That's actually good, because what that says to that person is, oh, I don't have to be perfect to do this. I don't have to know everything. It's okay. Like I can mess up. I can totally forget what I was going to say, and it's all right. Um, because what we're looking to do with this is to create duplication. So when you have that three-way call, you're showing the person from the very outset what this system looks like. What do we do here, and how is it done? And so if our presentation is so perfect and so polished, and we never mess up and we never miss a beat, and we always say the right thing at the right time, and it's always just perfect, then people who maybe don't do well with public speaking, or who get nervous, or who are concerned, what people are going to think of them if they don't have all of the answers, if they see that as their only experience, and maybe let's say you are somebody who has the ability to bring somebody new in and share the information and get them enrolled and started and signed up all in one fell swoop, and you can do it yourself and you can do it quickly and efficiently, that's awesome. But that new person is not going to be at that level. They're not going to have that kind of confidence, and they're going to look at that and go, I don't know if I can do what he or she just did. But when we bring somebody else in, and if we have that moment where we're like, blah, 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 this is Aaron. He's awesome. Would you just listen to what he's got to say? Because I forgot what I was going to say. When we do that, we show people that we're human. We show them that it's okay that they're human too. And they look at that and they say, oh, you know what? All they did was share something that they loved. They sent me a video. They invited me to get on a call with somebody else who knows more than they do. That's ultimately what we want them to believe, what we want people to see, is that they're bringing this person in because it adds value that they maybe don't have themselves, or just adds additional value. So they look at that and they go, oh, they didn't do it by themselves. Like I came in as a guest, they invited me, but they brought in somebody else. And so what that tells them is, I can do this. I don't have to be perfect. And I can reach out to somebody else for support who's going to help me do this and answer questions that maybe I don't have the answers to yet. And so I have been making an effort with my own contacts and interactions to start doing those three-way calls, to reach out to other people, because can I bring a new person in by myself and get them started? Yeah, I can. But that's not the best way to build a team. Like I can do that all day long by myself, but I don't want to do that anymore, because I want to teach new people coming in how we do this as a team, to really show them we lock arms with other people. We're not just like, hey, here's your pack of awesome products, good luck. We really do this together. And by showing them, by prefacing it with the edification of somebody else you're bringing in, and letting them know that this person is coming alongside to help and to answer questions and to be a resource, in the back of their mind as they're considering whether or not they think they'll be able to do this business, that's speaking to them, that's registering. Like it's those unspokens, those observations that they have. Like people are quick, they're sharp, they notice these things. And so that is going to allow you to create duplication in your team and to lift other people up. Because let's say you want to start bringing in some other people on your team to begin developing leaders. You can reach out to somebody in your downline who's wanting to become a leader, and you can bring them in as that three-way call and say, I'm really excited to have Joe, who's on my team with me, who's had a transformation with these products and who has seen what this opportunity can do. And I want you to hear from him about, how it's blessed his life. And you can begin to empower other people on your team to start growing and developing and building their own confidence. So you don't always have to go up. You can reach across, you can reach down, and then we all grow together. We all learn how to create that duplication and gain confidence. Would you agree with that, Aaron?
Absolutely. If you want to get really good at doing a third-party call, find people that you're not financially connected to and work with them. Here's what I promise you. You will always do a better job for somebody that you know you're not financially connected to. I promise you. And if you do that repetitively, what happens is you'll start to develop a flow. Again, that's just genuine because you've got subconsciously nothing to lose. And so, if I'm going to do a third party for Jane, and we're not financially connected, and it's on the call with Mac, I don't like this word, but I mean, I'm closing Mac, right? Because I don't care, right? And I kind of want to show Jane how cool I am, right? Like, so I'm gonna give it everything I got, and Jane's over there. She's like, yeah, this is awesome. Now, here's the neat thing: subconsciously, I could care less. Now, consciously I do, but subconsciously I don't. And so you start to develop this. Now, all of a sudden, Anthony's on my team, and he's using me. And I just got off the phone call with a couple other people I'm not connected to. What am I more apt to do? Continue the flow that I just had. Does that make sense? So if you want to get really, really good at this, connect with people. That's why these events are, you guys, that's why events are so important. Oh my gosh. I promise you, if you're not going, I would do whatever you got to do. Sorry, side plug. I promise you, your business will grow by 200 to 400% the first 4 to 8 weeks out of there. But anyway, side note, go to the event, connect with people that maybe live in areas that you want, that have some similarities, that have some differences. Connect with them and say, hey, let's do some third parties for each other, because that's how you're going to develop the skills to absolutely crush this business. That's how we do it. Do it with people that aren't directly connected to you financially.
That's an awesome suggestion. And it's interesting, isn't it? The mindset shift that's a little bit different. And it's almost, it's a liberating thing for both you as the third party being brought in who's not financially connected, as well as for the prospect, the guest, because even though it may not be stated, and sometimes we do state that, and that's okay, but even if it's not explicitly stated that he has no financial interest in my success and whether or not you come along, that person is going to pick up on that. They're going to feel no pressure. Like it's just like, hey, this is the opportunity, and do you want to save 15%? You want to save 30%? Are you ready to improve your life and change your health? And when it's not connected to you financially, there's just a little bit of a different feel to it, that it's cool and it's different. So I would encourage you guys. In fact, this is my homework assignment to you. I'll say this, and then I'll kick it over to Anthony if he's got anything for us tonight. My assignment to you guys would be this: look back over the last 6 to 12 months, or however long, at least the last 6 to 12 months. If you haven't been in that long, that's fine. However long you've been in, look at the results that you've had and ask yourself honestly, am I happy with the results that I've been getting doing what I've been doing? If the answer is yes, awesome, keep doing it. And if the answer is no, I would encourage you to get with somebody who has been doing it longer, who's been having the kind of results that you would like to see, and ask them, what are you doing? And be willing to sit with them and listen. Because we have tools and we have strategies and we have, flow that we go through with people to work them, around the bases through the process, however you want to describe it. But if we've been doing it a certain way and the results we're getting are less than what we want, or there are no results at all, then I would encourage you to be willing to set aside whatever it is you've been doing and ask for some guidance, ask for some input from somebody else who is experiencing the kind of results you would like to see, and start trying to do it a different way. If that person is exclusively reaching out via a phone call and you've been reaching out exclusively via a text message or an email, start picking up the phone. Do what the people are doing who are having the kind of success that you want to have, and model it that way. Because when we begin to create duplication that creates success, then we all start to grow. So so the homework assignment is look at your results. Write down how many new people have you personally sponsored, either reps or customers, in the last 6 to 12 months. Are you happy with that? Are you able to consistently replicate that? If yes, awesome. Step up your efforts. Keep doing it. If not, get with somebody who's having the success that you want to see and find out what they're doing. Lock arms with them and get some additional guidance. Try a different strategy, because we always need to be growing and learning and changing. So that's what I have tonight. Anthony, do we have any questions or comments in the chat that you want to speak to?
Well, I did want to add something as well on top of the three-way calls, because this is something I learned a long time ago. I started at 21 years of age. And I remember when I came over from Lima, and you guys, I remember the three-way calls and all the top. We didn't really have that many top leaders at that moment. Brent, we had a couple, Justin, we had a couple of more, but it wasn't that many. And you know what we had to do though? The people that were just getting started, we had to step up. So I want to encourage you. You don't always have to have an Aaron Decker, a Amy Summers, a Whitney, a Tammy Motley, a Brent Palmer, a Todd Rowland. You don't have to have all the top leaders just for a three-way call, you guys. They're amazing if you can catch them. But you got to also remember they have thousands and thousands and thousands of people in their organizations. And they're all willing to help. Aaron's on here tonight after being on Zooms all day, you guys. So I encourage you, hey, like Aaron said, at the event, I think I had probably almost everybody's number in New Age. And I made that a point because I could always reach out to people at any given time and just see who's available. But see, that's something I did, and that's what I encourage you to do. You need to be networking with everybody. Your team will be there, trust me. Hug on them, but you also need to be networking and introducing them to Aaron Decker, introducing them to Michelle, introducing them to Miss Jane, introducing them to Ashley, to Amy, to all these amazing leaders that's going to be there. Introduce them and exchange numbers with as many people as you possibly can, because guess what? It doesn't always have to be the same person on every single call. I just want you guys to know that. I wanted to add that in because at the beginning when I first started, people asked how I did it, and guess what? I was willing to step up. But I was also willing that if I had Mr. Runny and I knew his transformation, guess what? I'm going to call Mr. Runny and say, hey, Mr. Runny, I have a good friend. And I'm edifying him like he was Aaron Decker. My friend doesn't know anything, how much money. Mr. Runny could have just got started last week. But if he lost 4 pounds, I'm going to edify that. And so I just wanted to add that, you guys. We do have a question here from Mr. Runny. Mr. Runny said, Aaron, what is the best way to request a three-way? Is it like a pre-call text, or is it just random?
Okay, explain. So request a three-way for somebody to do it for you or for the prospect?
I'm guessing, Mr. Runny, would that be for the prospect or would that be for
someone to do it for you? In other words, I know everybody is busy and that's usually the challenge, but sometimes getting somebody on the phone to call and talk to you and say, Aaron, let me tell you about this person. Or can you receive that in just a short text? Aaron, I got Bill. He works at LYZ company, whatever, and or just a random text? What mechanically works best
I
for
always have people
most
set
of you?
it up through a text, right? Hey, I've got somebody might need you in 15 minutes. You available, right? Is that what you're going at?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can, like I'm sorry, I'm multitasking, right? My phone's blowing up, and so I can, if I saw a three-way call coming in, I'm like, okay, I've been waiting for this one. This guy's at work, or this guy's really working. I might just say, hey, Lance, hey, brother, you got 1 second, man? I just got to step out really quick. Now I might even, Ronnie, say, hey, I got to use the bathroom a minute, right? Like I want to be respectful. But if you text me that, or I could respectfully, which I've done here, say, hey, on a Zoom, can I get with you later? Right? That's why text is so nice. If you call me, I'm just going to tell you 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to answer. But if you've got a text, and I can always go back through, right? And I can start to go through my text and go, oh my gosh, I don't want to forget that person or whatnot. And if I don't respond to you in a timely manner, then you've got, because you've met other people like Anthony and all these different wonderful people, you just start to go down the list. But again, it's repetition that makes us all better. That's it. There's no magic. I wish there was. I'm not that good. I just do it over and over and over again. That right? Like that's it. So anyway.
And with that, when, if you know in advance that you're going to have an appointment to follow up, like when you send the video to somebody, set up a time to follow up with them afterwards. That's not something I'm very good at. I'm learning to be better at that, set up that next appointment, that follow up with them. And if you know that you're going to be following up with them, they said they could watch it tomorrow after they get off work. 6 o'clock is a great time. So great. I'm going to give you a call at 6:15 tomorrow. And if you know that you are going to have that call at 6:15, and you can let Aaron know today, hey, Aaron, tomorrow evening, 6:15, I have a follow-up call with a friend of mine. Would you be able to hop on a three-way with me, so that it's not sprung on people at the last minute? Sometimes that works great and people have time, and other times we don't. So if we know ahead of time, we can either say, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy at that time, or yes, I can do that. And that way, if they are busy, you have the opportunity to reach out to somebody else to help fill in that spot. So Anthony, you had another question.
Yeah, now I just want to, I know we talked about edifying three-way calls, but Aaron touched on it a little bit and he jumped off. He really wanted to dive into it. And I did have a question for you, Aaron. I don't know this, but Aaron, how long have you been in the industry?
I think it's almost 19 years.
19 years. Aaron, how many events have you, big events like that's going on in Destin next month? How many events have you missed?
I don't think I've ever missed one.
Okay.
Even when my dad had his first stroke about a little over 3 years ago, we were actually supposed to be in California that weekend. And he actually was going into a surgery. I sent Ginger, went ahead and flew out there because she had to speak on a Friday. I was going to go there and for the Saturday. We were both going to go both days, but she went ahead. I sat there. My dad was going to have surgery. And while he was in surgery, he had a 50-50 chance coming out alive or not. While he was in there, I just booked my flight so I could be there the next morning. And selfishly, it was probably more for me because I needed to keep moving. I needed to keep going, right? Like I couldn't fix the outcome. The outcome was going to be the outcome. And so why is it important? Be selfish. It's important for you. I can guarantee you the content, the announcements, the other special stuff that's going to happen, especially for those that attend. I'll go back to this. Here's my prediction. You go, your business will grow by 200 to 400%. That's just my prediction. Lance, I might be wrong. Yours might grow by 800 or 1,000%. But you know what? That's what I believe. This is, and here's the hard part, because you hear that at every event, but every event has a little bit different thing, a little bit different place and time. But there's few times that will ever happen like the timing of this event, because of so many things that were foreseen and unforeseen all converging. And that's just truth. In the next 6 months, this company takes such a different direction. We then become unstoppable. And again, it's with or without you and I. It's because of everything that they were doing that has just now come to fruition, and everything that they didn't know that was going to collide with what they were doing, and it just aligned perfectly. Events are everything. They're everything. And by the way, your team's not going to go if you text them, hey, you should go to that event. Call them. You need to go. I'm sorry, figure it out. What do we got to do to get you there? Like, you need to go. You need to go. You want to build your team? You want to get people excited? Get on the phone. I hate it. Texts don't work. They're great reminders. Texts aren't going to get people re-engaged. Texts aren't going to get people reactivated. Texts aren't going to get people to events. Texts aren't going to get people moving. The only thing that does is you getting on the phone, and they need to hear, remember, realistically and authentically, that you're excited and that you're going with or without them, but you are going to give them one last chance, one last shot, one last encouragement, because you never wanted them to look at you and say, you let me down. I'd rather say, hey, you know what? I didn't let you down. I was there. You just weren't ready. And that's okay. I'm good with that. I'll meet you where you're at, but I'm going with or without you. If everybody had that energy, everybody had that attitude, Todd and Brent would have to be working harder than they're working right now to find a bigger place. It's just a fact. I predict that North America will, in new teammates and customers, I predict that they'll double, triple, quadruple in the 8 weeks leaving that. Just in the 8 weeks leaving that. What's that, Ronnie?
We got 3 weeks.
Okay, I'm good with 3 weeks. No, I mean coming out of the event, not 3 weeks to the event. I'm talking about coming out of the event. We're crushing it going to it, but wait coming out of it. So anyway, be there. Anything else? Because I'd be happy to hear anything.
Well, that was my question. I just wanted to hear from you. You know, like you said, 19 years, you've never missed an event. So I encourage everybody who hasn't gotten their ticket to go grab their ticket. Get the websites posted, pinned at the top of More Challenge and RX Nation. All you have to do is click on it. It's $50 that'll change your life forever. I remember my first event 9 years ago, you guys, and I haven't missed an event yet. Well, I missed one event because of a track meet. So, you know, I'm going to be at this event, even everything I got going on. So, hey, I encourage you to be there. But, Aaron, I know you've been to corporate recently, and you've been on the phones, on Zooms with with a lot of amazing people, and any like closing words that you would like to leave off on would be perfect. You know, just anything that comes to your mind, that'd be just fine with me. I'm pretty sure Michelle wouldn't mind either.
He knows a lot, and he can't tell us all that he knows. But whatever you can tell us, we want to know.
I got a lot on my mind. Had some good conversations with a lot of people. You know, just blessed to be a part of this whole journey that we're all on. I'm usually not a loss for words, but I honestly, you guys, here's the thing. You gotta reach deep, right? We got to get past ourselves. Just get past yourself. I got to get past myself every single day. I am definitely my own worst enemy. I believe most of us are. In whatever it is that catapults you, right? And it's going to be different for everybody. Don't miss this. Don't miss it. Don't miss it for you. Don't miss it for your family. Don't miss it for the teammates that said it wouldn't work. Don't miss it for all the people that said you're crazy. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Because I'll tell you what, it's fun. We had a nice little event here at the ranch last night. And it's fun for me to sit there and not arrogantly at all, but humbly know that all those people that told me I was crazy 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, we're doing better than we've ever done. I'm blessed to give more than I've ever given. I've got more time to spend however I want to spend that time. Now I'm choosing it now to really, really focus because of the timing in this company, but also understand how small of a world it is. And this will come back around very, very quickly to you and the people around you. I'll give you one quick example. A lady can I give you two? Can I take like 3 minutes? I'll give you two unbelievable examples. Number one, I've got a guy in our business. His name's Paul Messner. He's an amazing guy. Paul's 69 years old, owns an insurance company. Paul decided to get serious. So Paul made a real decision. He's been a part of the company. You ever been that? You're a part of it? But he made a decision, a real decision last January that he was going to take it serious. That was about the middle of January, about January 24th. And Paul went on and he's lost about 40, 50, 60 pounds, somewhere in there. But over the course of the time working with his doctor took him off all of his medications. Paul got pneumonia, call it whatever you want, but he did end up in the hospital, and it was not good. Like he went bad really quick, but he bounced back quicker. His medical doctor came in and he said, Paul, had you have not started and done what you did the last several months, you and I would not be talking right now. I'd be having a conversation with your family. Okay. He called me up in absolute tears, sobbing, because he was so elated that somebody connected him to a company that helped him transform his life for the better. Okay. So that's number one. Who are you and I to keep people from that? Like, let's look at that as a driver. Second, as a fear of loss. So that's a driver. Here's your fear of loss. I got another lady, and she's been tenaciously working. By the way, Paul had been inviting a couple to come for over a year. They showed up last night. They only wanted to look at products. They watched Dr. Crystal's video, heard a couple testimonies. She's from the Philippines. She came here 7 years ago, not knowing how to drive a truck or drive at all. She drives a semi truck. She knows every person all across this country. They left there so on fire. She's already said she's got 6 people coming next Tuesday. Okay. So again, a drive that kept him engaged, but his tenacity to keep on the path, right? Because he'd ask me, what's the magic? Why isn't this working? And I said, I can't help you. It's a process. Boom. And he just understood what happens when the right person shows up. Okay. So there's that. Here's your fear of loss. Another lady invites somebody, shows up. She's like, oh, well, I think I already know your company. I'm like, what are you talking about? Nobody's heard of New Age around here. She's like, oh yeah, Corinne's a really good friend of mine. Brent and Corinne are our neighbors. If you guys don't know who that is, that's your CEO and his wife. Brent actually gave her son one of the 3 swords that was used in the Gladiator movie because he liked it. He just gave it to him. Here's why I'm telling you that story, for 2 reasons. Number one, here I've got somebody that hangs out with our CEO and his wife that's at an event that's probably enrolling in the business tonight. Okay. Interesting, right? Pretty small world, isn't it? Here's the other thing that's nice. And I love this. I love this so much about our owners. I love this more than anything. He did not know. He didn't even really remember until I reminded him what he had did for that kid. Okay. Here's what our owners are. Here's what your leaders at a corporate level are. Real. They're authentic. They're transparent. Because there's nothing holding us back. It's just us. Quit holding yourself back. Jump. Buy the ticket, get to the event, understand that it will change your life, get your team to go because it's going to change their life too. Quit lollygagging, quit making excuses. Guys, I drove to my first event, had to turn around, drive home. The next 5 events, I stayed 20, 30, 40 miles away because I couldn't afford the hotel where it was at. I slept with many people. I put up with piling people in vans and splitting gas money. You know what? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. You'll go take out a loan for college and spend the rest of your life trying to pay it off for something you're not even using, but you won't find the money to go to an event that literally will change your life. Now I'm getting fired up, Anthony. That literally will change your life, right? Like, you guys, don't think, act. Just act. Get there. I promise you. In fact, here's what I'll do. I don't even know who all of you are. I'd love to meet you. You go to that event. You don't like it. I'll give you your money for the event back personally. I'll give it. You get there at the end of those 2 days. You say, Aaron, this was the worst deal. You made me come here. This sucks. And I will give you your money cash back. There you go. You got it out recorded. I'll do that.
That just speaks to the confidence of it and how good it is. So after I shared on Monday night's call, I had an aha moment, and I want to share that with you guys as we close out tonight. So some of you may be thinking, I'm afraid to reach out to people, or what are they going to think of me? Or, oh, I'm afraid to lose the money. And, I've been having some of those myself. You're like, what's stopping me? What's keeping me back? And after I shared my story on Monday night about my husband and the riots in Denver and seeing what I saw, I realized that man goes to work every day with the possibility that he might not come home. He faces the possibility of someone trying to stab him, shoot him, blow him up, other things that could be life-threatening, life-ending. And my realization was, in this company, in this opportunity, where I have the ability to impact people's lives for the good, to change their life forever. And he does that every single day to provide for my family. Then what do I have to be afraid of? So I would ask each one of you, as you think about that, what do you have to be afraid of? That phone's not going to shoot you. It's not going to blow up in your hand. Those people on the other end of the line, they need what we have. So come to Destin, find out what's going to happen, see how it's going to change your life, how it's going to change the lives of people around you and around the world. We have nothing to be afraid of because we have so much to offer, so much at our fingertips that is just going to empower people, to build them up, to change their lives. So we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you for coming every Wednesday. I think this is our highest attended call yet. So Aaron, thank you for being here with us tonight. Always so much value that you add to us. We love you guys. We appreciate you. We will see you in Destin, and have a great night.
God bless, guys.
And I'm gonna mute the line so everybody can tell my wonderful friend thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Aaron.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. Thanks, Michelle and Anthony.
Always welcome.
See you all soon.
Y'all